So then what
Yes, sir.
IAFL is 30 ampere, and extra resistance, if we have added what is that, 1 ohm, then what will be the full load torque, double load torque, and stalling torque? All these things we should calculate here. Okay, now let us see the solution for this. So first we are going to write down all the given parameters related to the DC shunt motor. That is V equal to 220 volts, RA equal to 0.5 ohms, full load speed 500 RPM, full load armature current 30 ampere, Rx equal to 1 ohm. Now let us calculate full load torque. This is the first thing we need to calculate. So first one is on full load torque with Rx 1 ohm in series with the armature. So what will be the full load torque if we add 1 ohm extra resistance in series with the armature? So we before adding the armature resistance, that is without Rx, let us calculate the back EMF. So back EMF equation for DC shunt motor is what? EB is equal to V minus IARA, right? Using that general formula, now let us calculate back EMF for full load condition. EBFL EBFL is equal to V minus IAFL into RA. So V is 220, full load armature current is 30, and armature resistance is 0.5. So if you calculate it, then you'll be getting full load back EMF as 205 volts. This is without adding armature, what is that? Extra resistance in series with the armature. Okay. Now suppose if we add extra resistance, then EMF equation changes from EBFL to EB dash FL, that is equal to V minus RA IA dash FL into RA plus RX, extra resistance we have added here. And we know that torque is directly proportional to pi into I, because here we are calculating torque, full load torque. So we know that for DC shunt motor, torque equation is given by torque is directly proportional to pi into IA. And in the case of DC shunt motor, flux is constant. So in that case, we can say torque is directly proportional to the armature current, because pi is constant for DC shunt motor. Now, using this equation, let us write the torque equation. So T1 equal to IA1, T1 equal to IA1. This equation we are writing based on this judgment. Okay. So T1 equal to I1 divided by T2 equal to I2. That is equal to 1. Why? Because here the condition is given that torques are constant. So if torque is constant for all the loading conditions, then I can say that T1 equal to T2 is equal to full load torque. All they are constant. If all they are constant, means what is going to happen here? It is going to become T1 by T2 is equal to IA1 by IA2. This we are writing based on the equation torque is directly proportional to IA. If all the torques they are constant for for different loading conditions, then T1 by T2 ratio it will become equal to 1. Right. Now IA dash FL is equal to, what is this IA dash FL? This is the armature current, full load armature current when we add extra resistance Rx of 1 ohm. Then IA dash FL will become equal to what? So this is IA1 divided by IA2. IA1 is what? This is the armature current full load when we don't add any resistance Rx, and IA2 is that armature current full load value if we add resistance Rx. So this is IA dash, sorry, this is IAFL and this is IAFL dash. I hope you are getting my point.
Yes, sir.
So here this IA1,
Sir,
so I hope you are getting the concept. IA1
sir,
is nothing but, yes,
sir, where it is given that torque is constant?
wait a minute. See here T1 equal to T2 equal to TFL, constant means here the 220 volt shunt motor with armature resistance 0.5 with constant main field. So field they have given constant, right? So using this parameter, along with that, let me check one more parameter. So based on this judgment only, we can say that torque is constant here, because flux is constant means constant main field. Only constant main field they have given, but here with we are going to assume that torque is constant. Only then we can consider this equation here. So here we have made the assumption that torque is constant in this problem, because some of the parameters, if it is not given in the problem statement, we need to assume them, right? So that assumption we have did here, that is T1 equal to T2 equal to TFL, because while solving the problems we can come to the solution only if only unknown is one parameter. If many of the parameters are unknown, means what we are doing to make our problems more simpler, we are assuming the certain parameters. So in the similar to that point of view, here we have assumed that T1 equal to T2 equal to TF, that is equal to constant.
Okay, sir.
Right. So now, after writing this flux is constant, torque is directly proportional to Ia. So based on this, we have written that T1 by T2 is equal to I1 by I2. So this Ia1 is nothing but IAFL, and Ia2 is nothing but what Ia dash FL. So if Ia1 by Ia2 is equal to 1, then I can say that Ia1 is equal to Ia2. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So now this Ia1 is nothing but Ia dash, sorry, Ia2 is nothing but Ia dash FL, and this Ia1 is nothing but IAFL. So what is my IAFL value here in the problem?
30
30
amperes.
amperes.
30 amperes. So if IAFL is 30 ampere, then IA dash FL is also 30 ampere if you add the resistance Rx of 1 ohms. Now let us calculate EB dash FL. So EB dash FL formula is what? That is equal to V minus IA dash into RA plus Rx. So V is 220, IA dash it is 30. Then what is remaining now? IA dash is 30 and RA is 0.5 and Rx is how much?
1.
1, sir.
1 ohm. 1 ohm we have inserted. So now all the things we have substituted here, then get the value of back EMF for full load when we add 1 ohm resistance. So back EMF value is 175 volts when we add resistance 1 ohm in series with the armature. Now we know the speed equation. What is that speed equation? N is directly proportional to EB by pi. If flux is constant, then N is directly proportional to EB. So using this equation, NFL is directly proportional to EBFL, and second speed N dash FL is directly proportional to EB dash FL. So using that, NFL by N dash FL equal to EBFL by EB dash FL. So what is initial speed? Initial speed is 500, and second speed after adding the resistance that we are calculating here, that is what value? N dash FL, that is equal to, without adding resistance, back EMF is how much here? 205, and after adding the resistance, back EMF is 175. So 205 by 175. So the next speed after adding the what resistance, that is N dash FL is equal to 426.829 RPM. So this is the case if full load torque. During the full load torque, the speed is how much here? Find the speed at full load torque. If we give full load torque, then during that period of time, speed is changes from 500 RPM to how much value?
426.82.
426.82. So whether you have decreased the speed or increased the speed in this case.
Decrease the speed.
Why it is decreased? Can you tell me?
By adding extra resistance, sir.
So by adding extra resistance, there is more drop in the voltage. Because of that, voltage will be reduced. If voltage available to the motor reduces, then automatically speed will be reduced. Okay. Now in the second case, we are supposed to find the speed when torque is what? Double the full load torque, 2 times of the TFL. So such second case is you should calculate the speed when torque is 2 times that of the full load torque. So now, so second torque is 2 times of the full load torque, double torque of the full load time. So we know that for DC shunt motor, torque is directly proportional to what? Armature current, because flux is constant. So T is directly proportional to IA. Using that equation, first torque is directly proportional to IFL, but whereas on the adding the resistance, then torque becomes 2 times of the TFL, and corresponding current is IA dash FL. So from the already we have calculated IA dash FL is equal to 2 times of 30. Why? Because TFL is same. Then what is remaining?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. Then your IA dash FL value will becomes what? IA dash FL is equal to 2 times of IFL. So 2 times of IFL is 30. 2 into 30 is 60 ampere. Then you calculate next back EMF for corresponding to 2 times of the TFL. So E dash FL is equal to 220. That is V minus IA dash FL into RA plus RX. So what is the input voltage? 220. And next thing, IA dash FL is 60. Then RA is 0.5 and RX is 1. So on adding all that, you will be getting what value? Second back EMF is 130 volts. Now calculate the next speed. N dash FL is equal to what? Using this formula. You just use this formula, that is NFL by N dash FL, that is equal to EBFL by E dash VFL. So using that, N dash FL is equal to what? NFL into EB dash. NFL is what? 500. EB dash FL is what? 130 divided by EBFL. EBFL is how much? Already we have calculated in the previous case.
205.
EBFL is 205. It is 205. So if the torque is 2 times that of the full load torque, then the speed will be 317.073 on adding the resistance of 1 ohm in series with the armature. This is the second case. Then let us calculate the speed when torque is at stalling torque, means stop, zero torque. So for stalling torque, what is the back EMF? Stalling means what? When motor is at resting condition, stop condition. So during that period of time, speed is 0. If speed is 0, then what is the back EMF? Because N is directly proportional to what?
EB.
EB. So during stalling condition or at resting position or at the stopping condition of the motor, if speed N is 0, then automatically EB is also 0. So for stalling torque, speed is 0, then EB is 0. Right. Now calculate what is the current during stalling condition. So armature current during stalling condition is what? V minus EB divided by RA. This is the well-known equation. But now along with RA, we have added certain resistance at the time of resting condition. So V is 220, but EB is what?
0.
0. RA is 0.5 and additional resistance is 1. So armature current during standstill condition is 146.666 ampere. Right. So now once again you make use of the torque equation. Torque is directly proportional to IA. So TFL equal to IAFL. TFL equal to IAFL divided by T stall equal to IA stall. So full load torque TFL is equal to what? Full load torque TFL. This is another formula, EBIA divided by 2 pi N by 60, because this we are getting using what? Torque equation. EBFL into IAFL divided by 2 pi N FL by 60. So in order to, here there are two unknowns, TFL and T stall. So calculate TFL first here. So to calculate TFL, this is the formula. EBFL into IAFL divided by 2 pi N by 60. This is the torque equation of the motor. So EBFL, it is 205, IAFL, it is 30, 2 pi, and initial speed is 500 divided by 60. So TFL will be how much? is what is the value of TFL? 117.4563 Newton meter. I told you to what is that? Carry the calculator. So TFL is 117.4563. Now this value of TFL you can substitute here. 117.4563, you substitute this value in the numerator part, and IAFL is how much? 30 ampere. IA stall is how much? 114.46.666. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now you can see here TFL, it is 117.4563 into IA stall is 146.666. So divided by IFL is 30. So you can see here at the time of starting condition, so full load current is 30 ampere, but at the time of starting armature current is very, very high. This is the concept of starter you can see here, because why we are using starter is just to limit the starting current. Starting current means when speed is 0, back EMF is 0, then what is the current? Current is 146.66, which is very, very large current value. Yes or no? Its safer
Yes,
current
sir.
value is 30 ampere, but at the time of starting condition, current value is 146.666 ampere. Just to make you aware about the starters, I have taken the example here. So T star is equal to, from this, TFL into IS star divided by IFL. So after substituting all the values, what is the corresponding torque? Torque during standstill condition is 574.228 Newton meter. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will move to the next problem. So all these are the problems which it has been asked in the VT exam for 8 to 10 months. So you already have shared these notes for you. Practice all these problems repeatedly. If you get any doubts, you can ask me. Now we'll see the next problem here. Again, it is related to DC shunt motor only. A 230 volt DC shunt motor runs at 800 RPM and takes armature current of 50 ampere. Find resistance to be added to the field circuit to increase speed from 800 RPM to 1000 RPM at an armature current of 80 ampere. Assume flux proportional to field current. Armature resistance is equal to 0.15 ohms and field resistance is equal to 250 ohms. So here you are given with a DC shunt motor whose speed has to be increased now. So if I want to increase the speed of the DC shunt motor from 800 RPM to 1000 RPM, then which method we should use here?
Flux con.
Flux control method. Very good. So in order to control the speed of the DC shunt motor from low value to high value, we are going to choose flux control method. So if you are choosing flux control method, means here we should control which current?
Armature current.
Yes, field current or armature
Field.
current. Flux means
Field.
field winding.
Field
Yes or
current.
no? So
Field
you
current.
need to control the field current. So in order to control that field current, you need to vary certain resistance. So how much is the resistance to be added? Because if I add resistance, then automatically ISH will decrease. If ISH decreases, pi decreases. So how that pi is related to the speed?
Inversely proportional.
N is inversely proportional to 1 upon pi. So if ISH decreases by adding the resistance to the field winding, then ISH decreases proportionally, pi decreases, then automatically speed will increase. In the case of flux control method, using this logic only, we are going to increase the speed from 800 to 1000 RPM. Right, now let us see the problem. So how much value of the resistance you need to add in order to bring the speed from 800 to 1000 RPM with the field here. So this is the DC shunt motor, where initially it is running at a speed of what value? 800 RPM without adding any resistance with the field winding. So this is the motor for first speed condition with N1 equal to 800 RPM. This is for N1 equal to 800 RPM. Okay. Now draw this circuit diagram. So armature resistance Ra, initial current, armature current is 50 amps. This is initial field current. Initial field winding is resistance is 250 ohms. Voltage is 230 volts input voltage, and this is the IL1 value. Now this is for N1 equal to 800 RPM. Now change the speed from N1 equal to 800 to N2 to 1000 RPM. For that sake, we are adding certain resistance Rx in series with the field winding. So now we should calculate what is the value of this Rx to bring the speed from 800 to 1000 RPM. So for the second value, for the second speed of N2 equal to 1000 RPM, corresponding armature current is how much here? IA2
80 amps.
80 amps, IL2, ISH2, RSH, and then input voltage is same, that is 230 volts. Okay. Now V is equal to 230 volts, Ra is 0.15. This is armature resistance. IA1 is 50 amps, IA2 is 80 amps. So now calculate the initial field current ISH1. This ISH1 is what? V by RSH. Yes or no? V by RSH, which is going to be 230 by 250. It will be 0.92 ampere. Right. Now, as load condition not given, torque equation cannot be used. Here we have loading condition. Do you find any loading condition here? They have not given any load condition. Just they have given the speed value, which has changed from 800 RPM to 1000 RPM, and corresponding current IA1 and IA2 for 800 and 1000 RPM they have given, but they have not given any loading information. If loading information is not given, then we should not take what torque equation, right? As load condition not given, torque equation cannot be used. Now we know that back EMF EB1 for initial speed 800 RPM, it can be written as V minus IA1 into RA1. V is 230, IA1 is what value? IA1 is 50. Then armature resistance Ra is how much? 0.15. This Ra value is 0.15 ohms. Then you will be getting voltage as 222.5 volts. Right. Now let us calculate second back EMF when speed changes from 800 to 1000 RPM. That is EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into RA. So this EB2 is equal to what is the IA2 value? 80 and RA is 280. So back EMF changes from 225 to 218 volts. And in the case of DC shunt motor, flux is directly proportional to ISH, because if I control the field current, then I am going to control the flux. So we know that speed equation for DC shunt motor, speed equation is given by what? N is directly proportional to EB by pi, where this is EB and this is pi, and this pi can be replaced by what value? ISH, field current IF. Right. So now using this equation, N is directly proportional to EB by ISH. Using this, I will write the speed equation for two values, N1 and N2. N1 is equal to EB1 by ISH1. N1 equal to EB1 by ISH1 divided by second speed. N2 is equal to EB2 divided by ISH2. EB1 is 800. N1 is 800. N2 is 1000. EB1 is 225.5 and EB2 is 218. ISH2 calculated. Then ISH1 is 0.92. Then from this, if you solve it, you will be getting second field current value on adding resistance. Rx in series with the field winding. So ISH2 value is 0.721 ohm. Okay. So this ISH2, it is because of what? On adding the extra resistance in series with the field winding. So ISH2 is equal to V by Rx plus Rxh. Here. This is the ISH2 value. ISH2 value is what here now? For the second case, V divided by RSH plus Rx. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So ISH2 is equal to V divided by Rx plus Rxh. So ISH2 is 0.721, V is 230, and RSH is 250 ohms. It is given. The only unknown parameter is resistance in series with the field winding. So Rx. So if you solve it, Rx value is Rx plus 250 is equal to this. If you multiply it, then it will be 319. So Rx is equal to 319 minus 250. It will be 69 ohms. So in order to bring the speed from 800 to 1000 RPM, you need to add a resistance of 69 ohms. The value of this Rx is 69 ohms in series with the which winding? Field winding or armature winding?
Field winding, sir.
Field winding. Right. In order to get the speed from 800 to 1000 RPM, you should add 69 ohms in series with the field winding. So then machine speed increases from 800 RPM to 1000 RPM. Is it clear? This is many of the times this question has been appeared in the final VTU exam. Okay. Now we'll see the next problem. I will consider the problems which are asked in the VTU exam because they are important. Okay. So the next problem here is a DC shunt motor runs at 1000 RPM on 200 volts supply. So once again, this is the problem related to speed control of DC shunt motor, which is running at speed of N1 equal to 1000 RPM by taking voltage of 200 volts. If armature resistance is 0.8 ohms and current taken is 40 amps. In addition to the field current, what resistance must be connected in series with the armature to reduce the speed to 600 RPM? The armature torque remains same, neglect the armature reaction. So here, in the previous case, we have seen that speed has been increased from 800 to 1000 RPM. For that sake, we have chosen flux control method. But now speed from 1000 RPM N1, it has to be changed to what? 600 RPM N2. In order to do this, which method we should use now? Flux or field control method?
Armature control method.
Sorry, flux or armature voltage control method?
Armature voltage control method.
Very good. We should use armature voltage control method. If we are using armature voltage control method, means we should add resistance in series with armature or in series with field winding.
Armature.
Armature winding. Right. So how much should be the resistance Rx we should add in series with the armature to bring the speed from 1000 to 600 RPM? That we should calculate here. Okay. So here this is the circuit diagram for the DC shunt motor. When initial speed of the DC shunt motor N1 is 1000 RPM, where you have not added any resistance in series with the armature. And we are writing all the given parameters. Ra equal to 0.8 ohms. Initial armature current IA1 is 40 amps. This is RSH and V is 200 volts. Right. If I want to bring the speed from 1000 RPM to low speed 600 RPM, then this is the second modified circuit diagram where we have added certain resistance Rx in series with the armature, and this Rx value we should calculate. So this is IA2, RSH, V is same, that is 200 volts. That is N2 equal to 600 RPM. For this speed, this is the circuit diagram. Now, for DC shunt motor, we know that torque is directly proportional to armature current because flux is constant. So T is directly proportional to IA. Using this, T1 by T2 is equal to IA1 by IA2. T1 is for the first speed, T2 is for the second speed, N2. Right. But also, T1 equal to T2, like in the earlier problem, all the torques are constant. If you say T1 equal to T2, then IA1 is equal to what? If T1 becomes equal to T2, then IA1 becomes equal to IA2. So what is IA1 value?
40 amps.
40 amps. Then IA2 is also 40 amperes. Then EB1 is equal to V minus IA into R. So V is 200, then IA1 is 40, RA is 0.8. So EB1 is 168 volts. Then calculate second back EMF for speed bringing from 1000 to 600 RPM. EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into RA plus RX. V is 200, IA2 is also 40, RA is 0.8, RX value is unknown. This you should calculate here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, coming back to the speed equation, N is directly proportional to EB by pi, but flux is constant here. We are changing only for the back EMF. N is directly proportional to EB. So using this N is directly proportional to EB, I can write the equation now as N1 equal to EB1 divided by N2 equal to EB2. This we have written using this equation. N is directly proportional to EB. N1 is for 1000 RPM, N2 is for 600 RPM. So N1 is 1000, N2 is 600. EB1 value is 168 divided by EB2. EB2 is what here? 200 minus 40 into 0.8 plus Rx. So if you solve this equation, then extra resistance value turns to be how much? Rx equal to 1.68 ohms. Rx equal to 1.68 ohms. So Rx, this value should be how much? 1.68 ohms. Its value should be 1.68 ohms. Only then you can bring the speed from 1000 rpm to 600 rpm using armature voltage control method, where we are adding resistance of value 1.68 ohms in series with the armature circuit. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now let us see the next problem here. A 200 volt DC shunt motor takes 22 amps at rated voltage and runs at speed of 1000 rpm. So here once again DC shunt motor we have taken, and it is going to take the current of 22 amperes with the voltage with the rated voltage, and it is running N1 value, speed value 1000 rpm. Its field resistance is 100 ohms, RSH is 100 ohms, and armature circuit resistance including brushes is 0.1. So armature resistance including the brush resistance and everything, its value is 0.1 ohm. Then compute the value of additional resistance required in circuit, in armature circuit, to reduce the speed to 800 rpm. So in order to lower down the speed from 1000 to 800 rpm, we should calculate how much amount of the resistance Rx we should add in series the armature. But the given conditions are what here? Load torque is proportional to the speed. So torque is proportional to the speed. Using this condition, calculate what is the value of Rx to bring the speed from 1000 to 800 rpm. Similarly, calculate the value of Rx if the speed, how it is changing, to bring the speed from 1000 to 800 rpm, provided the condition load torque varies as the square of the speed. Means torque is directly proportional to n square. In the first case, torque is directly proportional to n. Is it clear? For the first case, torque is directly proportional to n, and in the second case, torque is directly proportional to square of the speed. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now let us see the problem here. So this is the circuit diagram when speed of the motor is initial speed nm 1000 rpm, and you have not added any resistance. And this is the second speed of the circuit of the motor, that is N2 equal to 800 rpm, and its corresponding circuit diagram where Rx we have connected in series with the armature. So write down all the given parameters as per the given problem statement. Ra is equal to 0.1 ohm, including brush resistance. IA1, IL1, motor it is drawing current of 22 amps. RSH, field winding resistance, is 100 ohms. This is field current. And on adding the resistance Rx, this is Ra value, RSH is same, IA2, ISH, and V equal to 200 ohms. Fine. So case 1, you should calculate what is the value of the Rx to bring the speed from 1000 to 800 rpm using armature voltage control method, provided the condition is what? Torque is proportional to the speed, that is torque is directly proportional to n. So as per the given case, torque is directly proportional to n. But we know that for DC shunt motor, torque is the equation. Yes, what is the case here?
Torque is directly proportional to armature current.
So in the DC shunt motor torque is directly proportional to Y into I. Wait for some time. Yes, coming back. So for DC shunt motor, torque is directly proportional to pi into Ia and flux is constant. So torque is directly proportional to Ia. So N is directly proportional to Ia. So in the first case, torque is proportional to speed, and in the second case, torque is directly proportional to Ia. So using this, what is the judgment here? Torque, here also torque, it is on the LHS side. Then on the other side, here N and here Ia. So using this, I can write speed is directly proportional to what?
Armature current.
Armature current. So initial speed N is directly proportional to Ia. Then I can write N1 equal to Ia1 divided by N2 equal to Ia2. N1 equal to Ia1 divided by N2 equal to Ia2. So now field current ISH is equal to what? V by RSH. So V by RSH 200 by 100. So ISH value is 2 amps. And now ISH is 2 amps. IL1 is 22 amps. So apply KVL and tell me the value of IA1. IA1 is equal to what?
IL1 minus ISH.
IL1 minus ISH, that is 22 minus 2. 22 minus 2 is how much? 20
20
amps. 20 amps. And now make use of this formula. Make use of this formula. N1 by N2. N1 is 1000, N2 is 800. IA1 is 20 and IA2 calculate. So IA2 is equal to, on solving, you are getting 16 ampere. This is the armature current when speed has been reduced from 8000 to 800 RPM, provided torque is directly proportional to the speed. And now EB1 is equal to V minus IA1 RA. So after solving, substituting all the values, EB1 you will be getting as 198 volts, because V is given, IA1 is 20, RA is 0.1, V is 200. Substitute all those values, you will be getting EB1 as 198 volts. Then calculate for EB2. EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into RA plus extra resistance RX to bring the speed from 1000 to 800 RPM. Right. We know what is the speed equation.
EB by 5.
N is directly proportional to EB by pi. So flux is constant here. N is directly proportional to EB. So next what happens? N directly proportional to EB. So now using this equation, write N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 by EB2. EB1 is 198, EB2 is this value. So initial speed is 1000 by 800, 198 by rest of the things. And after solving, Rx value is 2.5 ohms. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So now we will see the second case where torque is directly proportional to n square, speed of the motor. So torque is directly proportional to n square. And also we know that torque is directly proportional to Ia for DC shunt motor. So now in this case, torque is same. So I can write that n square is directly proportional to Ia. Yes or no? N square is directly proportional to Ia because on both the sides torque is same. So n square is directly proportional to Ia. Using that, now I can write n1 by n2 whole square equal to Ia1 by Ia2. N1 square equal to Ia1 divided by n2 square divided by Ia2. So what is n1? 1000. N2 is 800. Ia1 is 20. Ia2 is how much? Unknown. Get the value for Ia2, that is 12.8 ampere. Check, is it 12.8 or 128, all of you?
12.8.
Have you calculated?
Yes.
Okay, 12.8 ampere. This point is not visible here. So 12.8 ampere. So now we know back EMF equation or speed equation. N is directly proportional to EB by pi. Since flux is constant, then I can write N is directly proportional to EB. N1 equal to EB1 divided by N2 equal to EB2. So N1 is 1000, N2 is 800, EB1 is 198. This we have calculated here. EB1 value is 198. This we have calculated. And finally, EB2. EB2 means what? Whatever we have written here. EB2 is equal to V minus Ia2 into Ra plus Rx. V is 200, Ia2 is 12.8, Ra is 0.1 and Rx is unknown. So if you solve it, then Rx value will be 3.15 ohms. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All these are important problems for your VTU exam point of view. Now similarly, we'll see the problems related to DC series motor. So now this is the problem related to the DC series motor. Speed control of DC series motor. A 200 volt DC series motor drives a load at a certain speed and takes a current of 30 ampere. The resistance between its terminal is 1.5 ohms. And then find the extra resistance to be added in series with the motor circuit to reduce the speed to 60% of its original value. I hope this problem I have covered already in the previous class. Yes? Yes or no? I have covered this problem, I think. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this problem already have covered. Try to take another problem here. I will take this problem. A DC series motor running at a speed of 1000 RPM takes 50 ampere from 250 volt mains. So here it is a problem related to DC series motor which is running at a speed N1 equal to 1000 RPM by drawing the current of 50 amperes with input voltage 250 volt. The armature plus field resistance is 0.6 ohms. So here Ra including the RSH is 0.6 ohm. If an additional resistance of 4.4 ohm is inserted in series with the armature circuit, find the motor speed in case of the field flux is proportional to the armature current. So if we add the resistance in series with the armature, then you should calculate the speed here. Assume fan torque to be proportional to the square of the speed. So here torque is directly proportional to square of the speed. T is directly proportional to n square they have given. Is it clear? Initial speed is 1000 rpm and current drawn IA1 or I1 equal to 50 amps. Input voltage V is 250 volts. RA plus RSC, armature and field winding resistance is 0.6 ohms. And extra resistance we have added of what value? 4.4. Rx equal to 4.4 you have added in series. On adding this, what will be the speed you should calculate for the given condition? For series motor, we know that what is the torque equation? Torque is directly proportional to general equation pi into Ia. But for series motor, pi depends on what? ISC. ISC is equal to Ia in series motor. In that case, torque equation becomes Ia square because pi is equal to Ia in the case of series motor. So torque becomes directly proportional to Ia square. And given condition is what? Fan torque to be proportional to the square of the speed. Using this condition, you will write torque directly proportional to square of the speed. And for series motor, torque is directly proportional to Ia square and torque is directly proportional to n square. So in this case, Ia square becomes equal to n1 square. Yes or no? Because torque is same. So Ia square equal to n square. So now n1 by n2 whole square, that is n1 by n2 whole square is equal to ia1 by ia2 whole square, or else this square will, if get cancelled, simply equation becomes what? n1 by n2 equal to ia1 by ia2. Now back EMF for speed initial 1000 rpm. So EB1 is equal to V minus ia1 into Ra plus Rsc. V is 250, ia1 is 50 and Ra plus Rsc is 0.6. So where EB1 value is 220 volts. Now we know that speed equation n is directly proportional to what? EB by pi. EB by pi, but in the case of DC series motor, our flux is directly proportional to the armature current. So flux is replaced by Ia here. So now using this equation, n1 equal to EB1 by Ia1. n1 equal to EB1 by Ia1 divided by n2 equal to EB2 by Ia2. n2 equal to EB2 by Ia2. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we also know that n1 by n2. What is the value of n1 by n2 here? n1 by n2 is equal to what?
IA1 by I2.
Ia1 by Ia2. So wherever n1 by n2 is there, replace it by Ia1 by Ia2. So n1 by n2, this value, you replace it by Ia1 by Ia2, then equation becomes what? Ia1 by Ia2 is equal to EB1 by EB2 into Ia2 by Ia1. So after solving the equation by replacing n1 by n2 with the term Ia1 by Ia2, you will be getting the next modified equation as EB1 by EB2 into Ia2 square equal to Ia1 square. Right. And now, what is the value of EB1? 220. EB2 is what? V minus Ia2 into Ra plus Rsc plus extra resistance Rx into Ia2 whole square. Into Ia2 whole square, that is equal to Ia1 whole square. Ia1 is 50. So here V is known, then Ia2. Have you calculated for Ia2? Yes, Ia2 is unknown here. And also Rx. What is the value of Rx? Rx value is how much? It is already given. Rx is 4.4. So here in this equation, everything is known except Ia2. This you should calculate it. So Ra plus Rsc is 0. What is that? Ra plus Rsc is 0.6 and Rx is 4.4. This you take it as 4.4 and this you substitute as 0.6 as per the given data. The only unknown parameter here in this case is IA2. So after solving this equation, you will be getting what value you are getting? You are getting which type of equation?
Quadratic equation.
Quadratic equation.
You will be getting quadratic equation where A is equal to 0.88, B is equal to 5, C is equal to minus 250. So here solve this quadratic equation and you will be getting two roots. So out of that two root, whichever it is positive value, you can consider that value. So on solving this quadratic equation by taking A as 0.88, B as 5 and C as minus 250, then you will be getting the roots of the equation. Out of the two roots, you should consider positive value. So that positive value it will be IA2 equal to 31.9894 ampere. So now this IA2 value you substitute in EB2 equation. EB2 is equal to what? E minus IA2 into RA plus RSC plus RX. So EB2 is known. Then V is known, IA2 31.9894. Sorry, here EV2 is unknown. This you should calculate. V is how much? What is the input voltage? 250. So V is 250. IA2 31.9894. RS plus RSC is 0.6 and RSC is RX is 4.4. Then EB2 value will be 90.056 ohms. Volts, not ohms, volts. 90.056 volts. So now you substitute in equation 2. Let us see what is that equation number 2. What is our equation number 2 here? EB1 by EB2 into IA2 by IA1, that is equal to IA1 by IA2. We know IA1, we know IA2, we know EB1. Only unknown is what? Sorry, not EB2 also. EB2 also you have calculated.
So equation 2 is N1 by N2.
Substitute in equation 2. N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 by EB2. Okay, this is our equation. So N1 is how much? 1000. N2 is 600. EB1 is 220. EB2 is, just now we have calculated, that is 90.056. N1 is what value? N1 is what value? N1 is 1000, yes or no? N1 is 1000. N1 is, are you getting or not? N1 is given as 1000 here. N1 is given, but we don't know N2 value. On adding the resistance of 4.44, sorry, 4.4 in series with the armature circuit, what will be the second speed? N2 you should calculate. So only unknown is N2 there. So in this equation number 2, N1 is known, EB1, EB2, IA2, IA1, everything is known. Only unknown is
N2.
which is unknown?
N2, sir.
N2, new speed. So here N2 is 639.87 RPM. Is it clear? So machine which is running at 1000 RPM, if I want to bring, if I add the resistance of 4.4 in series with the armature, then speed changes from 1000 RPM to 639.87 RPM. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Similar type of problems are given here, and all these are the important problems which will be asked in the final V2 exam. So you practice it. If you get any doubts, you can ask me. Yes. This is
Okay,
also
sir.
this problem you can take it for homework. Example 1.19.7. Right. All these are the problems very important for your final V2 exam. So try to practice these problems again and again so that you will become familiar with the problems. Yes.